So it's been a long day. 今日都幾長嘅。I finished class and then I had lunch and then because like I was supposed to go on a tour with the school which starts at 4 o'clock。咁我本身係諗住參加學校有個即係導賞團啦，去行咧呢度個城堡嘅。咁佢就4點鐘先開始 ，so I finished class at 1 o'clock， so there were 3 hours to clear。咁我1點鐘落堂㗎啦嘛，咁我有成3個鐘啦，咁 so I had lunch and then I went to sit in a cafe. I did a little bit of reading。咁我就食完飯之後就去揾間咖啡坐啦，睇書啦咁樣樣。And then at 4 o'clock I went back to the school。咁跟住4點鐘翻到學校啦。But by the time we arrived at the castle， 咁但係當我哋去到即係要去嗰個地方嘅時候，已經係 it's already like 4:30， 已經係4點半啦。So although my boxing class is really just 2 blocks down， 咁其實係即係過2條馬路就去到打 boxing 㗎啦咁樣。But my class started at 5， 咁但係其實我係5點鐘上堂啦。And so like I just reckon I wouldn't have time to do the tour。咁所以我就覺得我真係唔夠時間去參加呢個團啊咁樣樣。So I've been here for like 3 months now。咁我係嚟咗3個月啦咁樣。So this is like the landmark here in Cartagena。咁呢個堡壘呢個城堡咧，其實係Cartagena 呢個城市嘅即係一個大嘅地標嚟嘅咁樣樣。And then when I first came here in November， 咁我11月啱啱開始嚟上堂嘅時候咧 ，I just missed the tour。咁我就啱啱好就係佢哋對上一個禮拜去完呢個 tour 就冇去到呢個地方啦咁樣樣。And so I couldn't make it。咁我就即係冇去過咁樣樣。And because like it's a place that you have to pay to go in， 咁因為係要俾錢入去嘅。And then because I finished like touring Europe for like a year and a half， and 咁因為我過去年半喺歐洲啦咁樣 ，so I've seen like so many castles, so many palaces, so many colonial constructions, architecture。咁所以過去嘅年半咁睇咗好多歐洲呢啲即係殖民地色彩嘅城堡啦、堡壘啦、皇宮啦咁樣樣。So I was like, well, I don't really need to go see this。咁所以我係唔需要特登去嘅 because this one was built by the Spanish anyway。咁因為其實係西班牙人起㗎嘛咁樣樣。But if the school is going for free, then I would go。咁但係如果學校唔使錢，我就梗係去啦咁。So anyway, like we'll see if I still have a chance next time when the school go again。咁睇下下次學校再去嘅時候，我有冇機會去啦咁樣。Anyway, so let's get to the reading。咁我哋今日正式開始。Read to Resist, Day 285。當閱讀也是抗爭，第285日。A Concise History of Hong Kong by John Carroll。香港簡史，從殖民地至特別行政區，著者高馬可，譯者林立偉。As historian Ming Chen argues, the colonial government's measures helped to transform the strike from an economic strike into an all-out political confrontation between British colonial might and Chinese patriotic pride and national interest. Following extensive negotiations among the seamen, the shipping companies, and the Canton and Hong Kong governments, the workers won a settlement close to what they had demanded. The colonial government agreed to lift the ban on the Seamen's Union, release the arrested leaders, and pay compensation to the victims of the shootings in the new territories. The end of the strike on March 7 resulted in a total victory for the Chinese seamen, but complete capitulation of the British establishment, with its dignity and prestige in shambles. As part of the strike settlement, Stubbs had to rescind his ban on the Seamen's Union, while the same policeman who had pulled down the union signboard had to put it back up. The strike also showed that the Chinese workers had become a class of their own, no longer relying on the Chinese merchants elite for support. More strikes occurred in 1922, although few were as successful as the Seamen's strike. 歷史學家陳明球說，由於殖民地政府的措施，這次罷工從一場經濟罷工演變成英國殖民勢力與中國愛國尊嚴和民族利益之間的全面政治對抗。在海員、船公司、廣州政府和香港政府之間廣泛談判之後，工人的要求幾乎全都得到滿足。 香港政府同意撤銷取締海員工會的禁令，釋放被捕領袖，並賠償沙田慘案的死傷者。罷工在3月7日結束，中國海員大獲全勝，英國當局則全面屈服，威信與名譽掃地。根據結束罷工的協議，司徒拔要撤銷查禁海員工會的命令，拆走海員工會牌匾的那名警察須把他掛回原處。這場罷工也顯示華人勞工已自成一階級，不再仰賴華商精英的幫助。1922年還發生了多場罷工，但很少有如海員大罷工那樣成功。So this is the reading of today。咁所以今日就讀到呢度啦。It's such a surprise and such a delight to read this。咁對我嚟講係超級訝異呢件事啦，同埋又超興奮、超開心啦。Is that like Hong Kong have actually been able to won by strike, like the people had actually won by strike before。咁原來我哋喺1922年嘅時候係曾經罷工成功而爭取到要爭取嘅嘢嘅，即係一班嘅海員。So here for these like few days in the reading that we have seen that like one of the mistakes that the British government have made or stops had made was that like it insisted it is a politically driven strike, which it was always an economic strike。咁我覺得好有趣嘅嘢就係咧，呢幾日讀嘅時候都會睇到啦，即係司徒拔最大嘅錯誤就係佢堅持咧呢個罷工係政治罷工，但係其實由頭到尾佢都係經濟罷工 ，which is like something like Hong Kong in 2019 actually。咁其實咧都幾似咧2019香港發生嘅事情。Is that like when we first started， 咁我哋最初開始嘅時候 ，it was only just one demand actually。咁其實一開始從來都只不過係反送中嘅啫。It was just to protest against the amendment of the extradition law. That's it. You know, like it's totally just about the amendment of the extradition bill。咁由始至終，最開始嘅時候，其實由2月已經開始煲到去6月頭嘅時候，都一路只係講緊我哋只係要求就係撤回呢一個嘅即係修訂嘅逃犯條例嘅修訂草案咁樣修訂。And then because of what the government did， 但係就因為政府做錯啦 ，and the wrong judgment of it， 然後佢嘅錯誤判斷啦 ，again and again， 然後係重複地犯同樣嘅錯啦 ，and then it ended up into this huge wave of democracy campaign which couldn't be stopped at the time, like and it was just like getting worse and worse each day。然後就係即係去到一個點就係爆發成為一個即係爭取自由民主嘅運動啦咁樣樣。Which also have a similar kind of take like in the June 4th event in 1989 too。咁其實咧同89民運都係好似嘅，即係由最初只不過係悼念呢一個嘅即係純粹係一個悼念嘅活動開始，即係悼念胡耀邦，然後就跟住越演越烈啦咁樣樣，都係因為就係即係中共去定性咗佢哋係暴動啊咁。Or it's the same in Hong Kong, it's the same in June 4th. Like the government insisted that it was a riot, like and also like labeling the people and the students or like the protesters and rioters and then like it actually like just enraged the people so much more and so like evolved into such a huge movement in the end. And so like you can see that, you know, the Chinese Communist Party is never going to learn, and then it's not like it would never learn from history。咁基本上你可以見到中共係其實唔會從歷史裏面學習，佢唔會得到教訓 ，because it insisted that they are always right, and that the only way for them to stay in power is to continue the oppression and also like killing of people, or torturing people, or detaining people who are against their ideas, or simply just to say, hey, maybe you should, you know, stop and like think for just a moment, you know, like 咁基本上中共嘅手段就係你唔聽話，咁我咪就係虐待你啦、酷刑你啦、懟冧你啦、韞住你啦、係啦搞鳩你啦咁樣樣。So yeah, and it's the same here. Like with if people still believe that Russia is going to stop invading Ukraine, like it won't unless you actually use force to make sure that they lose, and they have to lose the entire war. There is no way they will stop on their own. 咁基本上其實即係等於而家俄佬去打烏克蘭咁樣樣，其實你係唔可能奢望佢會自己停㗎，佢係唔會停㗎。佢唯一會停嘅方法就係即係你真係要使用武力，然後去懟冧佢咯，然後去即係要佢投降咯，即係你真係要打佢咯，你唔可以係而家咁樣樣，你由佢繼續做緊佢而家嘅嘢，其實你哋只不過係鼓勵佢同助長佢。咁而即係你諗下啦，維尼都已經話咧，佢哋其實係已經即係有即係揀咗㗎啦，佢哋係支持俄佬㗎啦咁樣，即係亦都係已經係運送緊，即係佢哋亦都係輸出武器啦咁樣。So in a way, it's kind of like a proxy war between China and the United States right now. 咁其實而家其實根本就係暗啞底，就係俄佬打烏克蘭，但係其實即係表面上係咁，但係實際上就係已經係大陸同美國同埋其他即係歐盟嘅國家喺度打緊仗。But so it's kind of really like if you're still thinking that you are safe, you are not. 咁即係如果仲有人覺得我好安全啊，唔關我事啊，咁係冇可能嘅事。即係this is World War III 已經係第三次世界大戰㗎啦。其實即係 I mean like you can still pretend that it's not happening, but it is happening。你仲可以即係扮下嘢嘅，我估。咁但係其實你諗下，而家全球有幾多國家係受緊影響，係唔同方面嘅影響。And but in fact the entire world is being affected by it. 咁so in 2 more days, it will be like 1 year since Russia invaded Ukraine. 咁嚟緊24號，即係過2日就係啦，咁樣樣已經係即係俄佬去即係侵略烏克蘭嘅1年啦。So we have to think hard. Are we really just going to sit by and continue to let Russia do whatever it wants to do? 咁到底即係全球嘅領導人係咪真係仲繼續咁樣坐喺度睇住普丁佢中意做乜就做乜咧？咁樣 History told us that this is not going to work. 歷史已經話俾我哋知啦，係唔可能佢會自己停。So it's painful, but then like sacrifice needs to be done, right? 咁但係即係幾痛苦都好，有啲犧牲就係要做啦。For the past year, we have sacrificed a lot of children and civilians in Ukraine. 咁過去嘅1年，當大家唔作為嘅時候，其實代全世界犧牲緊嘅就係烏克蘭嘅小朋友、烏克蘭嘅平民啦咁樣樣。So when people talk about like but you can't just bomb Russia, right? 咁即係我哋唔可以炸俄羅斯，唔通我哋去炸佢咩？唔通我哋去打佢咩咁 ？Well, I beg to differ。咁我覺得大家真係要諗下咯。你炸壞人定係有得好人繼續俾人炸咧？即係 it's a difficult choice, right? But somehow we just need to stop it. You have to stop it. And nobody like war, but if you allow the war to go on in an injustice way, 咁如果你有得不公義嘅戰爭繼續 instead of initiating and stop the injustice war with a just war, 而唔去用一個即係正義之戰去停止呢個不公義之戰咧，then we are all just as bad as Putin。我哋每一個人其實都同普京冇乜分別，都係仆街嘅。So this is it for today。咁今日就嚟到呢度啦，咁我哋聽日再見，see you again tomorrow。Bye。